What's up, Cardfighters? Ryan here from Vanguard Central, bringing you guys an updated Sanctuary Guard Stride deck profile. Now, I actually took this to my locals tournament about a week and a half ago, before Anime Expo, and I topped with it. Really good. Pretty much more aggressive than the last build that I showed you guys, and I'll show you guys why. So let's open up with the strides. Of course, we got 4 copies of Holy Dragon Sanctuary Guard Regale. I added one more aside from unlike the last video where I only had 3, because people kind of caught on to like how heavy attacks they get. So there were a few times where I actually ran out of using him. I used him 3 times and I couldn't do it again, so having that 4th one really helps. If you guys don't know his skill, it's really good. During your turn, if you have this heart card with Sanctuary Guard in its name, all of your units in the front will get plus 3,000 for each grade 1 or less rear guard that you have. It's really, really strong. And then we got 2 copies of Holy Dragon Saint Blow Dragon. Saint Blow is a finisher, just in case you can't kill him with Holy Dragon Sanctuary Guard, but you probably will. And his skill, I'm sure you guys know already, but just in case, you can unflip him, a copy of him in the G zone, and it gets plus 3,000 for each rear guard that you have. And if the number of face-up cards you have in your G zone is 2 or more, and you have 2 or more rear guards, he gets plus a crit. And we got 1 Divine Knight of Flashing Flame Samuel. Samuel is to push your opponent to a little higher damage just in case they're guarding everything super early. You want to push him to around maybe 3 or 4 to kill him off with Sanctuary Guard on the next turn. So his skill, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have, what's it called? If the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 4 or more, and the number of rear guards you have is 5 or more, then you deal 1 damage to your opponent. It's a damage check, so. And then 1 Gabblade, just in case you don't have any heavy hitters in your front row and you want to grab them out, you throw in the Gabblade. And moving on to our grade 3s, we got 4 copies of Sanctuary Guard Dragon, pretty much just to fulfill for the heart. But unlike the last video where I said you don't really use his second skill, this time it's really, really good, really helpful, just in case you can't pull off your sword mace. So his limit break during your turn skips plus 3,000 for each grade 1 or less Royal Paladin rear guard. And his non-limit break skill is when he's placed on Vanguard, choose a card from your hand and discard it, or choose a Royal Paladin from your hand and discard it, excuse me. And search your deck for a grade 1 or less Royal Paladin rear guard, call it to your deck. Or call it to your rear guard, sorry. And I'll show you guys the card you want to call out once I get there. And then 3 copies of Sanctuary Guard Guarantee. So the grade 3 lineup didn't change much, but you're just changing up a playstyle essentially. And Sanctuary Guard Guarantee is pretty much there for the heart. If you ride him, it's unfortunate, but there's most times where I don't have to ride him. So even if you ride him, it's good because you get Sanctuary Guard Heart and you stride into Holy Dragon, and GG for that. And moving on to our grade 2s, of course we got Cancer Cat, Jewel Knight Sword Me. You guys don't know his skill already. It is when it's placed on rear guard, you may a special counterblast 1 Jewel Knight. Search your deck for a grade 1 or less Jewel Knight, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. It's the lowest cost. It's way too strong. Honestly, I think it's a great card all around. And it really helps with your Sanctuary Guard Stride because it helps you get those grade 1 rear guards. And we got 4 copies of Fellowship Jewel Knight Tracy. Tracy is our 12k beater for this deck. And so if you have the Stride on your Vanguard circle and you have a full back row, she gets plus 9,000 in the front row because, well, almost every card in this deck is going to be Jewel Knight. So it's not that hard to get the plus 3k when she attacks. Because when her skill, when this unit attacks, if the number of other rear guards you have with Jewel Knight in his card name is 3 or more, it gets plus 3k. So with the 9k boost from the Sanctuary Guard Stride, it's going to be a 21k hitter by itself. Really, really strong. And we got 4 copies of Knight of Twin Sword to maximize the attacks you want to get in this deck. Knight of Twin Sword is probably one of the more scarier cards compared to Sword Me because it's a 3rd or 4th attack that you would get that hits for, what, 21 plus, 28 plus. It's really good. And if you guys don't already know its skill, it's when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If this unit is boosted, you may counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 card not named himself, and call it to rear guard. So you can get your Sword Me, you can get another Tracy. It's redonk. Really, really strong. And to our grade 1s, we got 4 Flashing Jewel Knight ISO, 4 PGs. We're not running the unflippers because we need Jewel Knights in this deck. Having more Jewel Knights makes this deck really, really consistent. And then 4 Stride Fathers, because you want to stride a lot since we're only running 7 grade 3s. 3 copies of Stinging Jewel Knight Shelly. Shelly is the 10k beater for Dual Knights, so when this unit attacks, same exact thing as Tracy. If you have 3 or more other Dual Knight rear guards, it gets plus 3000. And it's good with having this in the front row because, say if you have a full back row with grade 1s, and you have her in the front row as well, that's 4 grade 1s, so your front row is getting plus 12. So she swings for 22 by herself if you have the stride out. Really strong. And then we got 2 copies of Heatwind Dual Knight Cymbeline. Cymbeline is not amazing. I see why people run 4 of her, but or him, guy or girl, I still don't know. It's been so long, I still don't know. I'm confused. Bushy Road, what are you doing? But anyways, so basically when this places in rear guard, if you have 3 or more other Dual Knight rear guards, same thing as any other Dual Knight, you may pay the cost. You can rest it and give any of your other Dual Knights plus 10,000. It doesn't have to be rear guard or Vanguard, but we don't have any Dual Knight Vanguards. Let's see. But early grade 2 rush with this is really strong because it can help you hit for magic numbers. And I'll show you guys a couple combos a little bit later. We're only keeping it at 2 because you don't want to see it too often because you're going to be superior calling it. And for our trigger lineup, we got 8 crits. We're not running stands in this one because the stands, they were good, don't get me wrong, but with this aggression, 8 crits is probably ideal. And make sure that they're Dual Knight because you want to maximize Swordley's probability. And we got 4 draw, Dual Knight draw as well. And 4 Dual Knight heals. These heals are good. And the crazy thing that we're doing is running 2 Desire Dual Knight Helios. Running 2, if you guys don't know, is probably the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I'm being serious. This thing, just having this card wins me games. Let's go ahead and show you guys why. So let's say we just rode grade 1, and this Helios is out here. So you can see that. Let's go ahead and ride. Knight of Twin Sword. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, sure. And then we'll call Tracy. Okay, good enough. And let's go ahead and call Sword Me. And special counterblast 1, call out your other starter. And if they're still at grade 1, they're going to drop a lot of cards. This thing's hitting for 12. They're going to have to drop 10 to guard that. This thing's hitting for 17 because she becomes an 8k booster, so they have to drop 15 to guard this. And this one's swinging for 14. It's a Vanguard attack. That's probably 19 if you get a trigger. So this grade 2 rush is insane. And let's just say you're sitting on the stride now. Yeah, 2 to 4. That's how good we are at Vanguard Central. And then we have that full back row. So now my front row is getting plus. Well, I have a Sanctuary Guard heart. Let's. Jeez, that. Sorry, guys. There you go. Let's make it fair. Boom. Stride over Sanctuary Guard. And now, since we have a full back row, my whole front row gets plus 9,000. So this alone, since I have 3 or more other Dual Knights, is become an 8k booster, swinging at 17 plus 9k from Sanctuary Guard. This is 26,000 column. This right here, 8k boost because I have 3 or more other Dual Knights. Plus 9 here, 26, 35 with an 8k boost. It's 43,000. That's ridiculous. I didn't even like counterblast or anything. And then this one right here, that's a 9k plus 12k hitter since I have 3 or more other Dual Knights, like I keep saying. It's 28 by itself. And with all the crits that you have in this deck, like giving crits to your rear, they're gonna drop so many cards. It's pretty scary. Playing against this, I'd be scared, but no one has this deck, so I'm cool with that. Hopefully you guys will make it. But basically that's one of the best combos. Just running 2 of these starters can really change the game. But anyways, guys, I hope you like the deck profile. Like our videos. Comment below if you guys have any questions or concerns or any ideas on how to make this deck better. I'm not trying to be conceited. I, for one, think it's a great deck. I hope you guys think the same. Vanguard Central out. What's up, Cardfighters? Ryan here from Vanguard Central, bringing you guys a updated, a updated, I can't even speak English.